everyone, I'm Dottie stitching Scotty, and this is Winston, one of my Scottish Terriers. We would like to welcome you to Flosstube number 181. We're in the Great Smoky Mountains camping, and today is Saturday, August the 3rd, 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be a different kind of video. It's also going to have a tutorial. I apologize for the lighting and for the level of the camera because I have no tripod. That didn't get packed. And, you know, when you're camping, you just got to make do. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you'll like and subscribe. We're trying to get 2,000 subscribers where we'll have a big giveaway. So tell your friends, and if you enjoy this video, just hit the like button, make a couple of comments, and I hope some of my Stitch Florida friends are here, and some of my other retreat friends. I would like to hear from you. Okay, also, I would like to say hello to Debbie and Jennifer and their stitching friends up in Virginia. I got to FaceTime with them today for just a few minutes. It was so nice of you, Debbie, to mention my name and you know, say very nice things about me. I appreciate it. I'm very humbled, and I'm just thrilled to get to see somebody that I don't get to see ordinarily through my phone. So it's wonderful, and I hope you enjoy watching the videos. And one of these days, maybe I'll get to come up and stitch with y'all. I would love that because I love Virginia. I do. It's a wonderful state. It's beautiful. But anyway, thank you so much, and hopefully I'll get to meet more of y'all. I met a whole bunch in Florida at the Stitch Florida retreat, so I'm trying to get around to meet people because I like to see who's watching. Okay, today I went to Sassy Jacks because I had to get some floss for a project I'm doing, and I'm going to do a tutorial about choosing your fabric for your pattern, the correct fabric for your pattern. So I guess it's a tutorial, and I'm going to show you some apps that I use on my phone to figure out how to cut my linen or Aida and have it come out the right size, because I see so many people that go, well, I stitched this and I ran out of room, or I didn't cut my fabric because I was afraid to because I didn't know how big to cut it. So this is a very easy way, and it's easy to use app, very easy. And I have an iPhone. For Androids, I don't know exactly what you would use, but you would have to type in cross stitch calculator or fabric calculator. And I guess cross stitch calculator would come out better because fabric, you might get into quilting and that kind of thing. So anyway, without further ado, let me put Winston down and get Striker so my mother-in-law can see Striker. All right, and this is my other Scotty, Striker. He's the little ham. I think he's a little upset today because he didn't get to go first. But anyway, hello, Grandma Jeanette and Belinda and Stephanie. We just really enjoy seeing y'all. Sort of, kind of, because I can't see you, but you can see me, but I enjoy seeing y'all. Okay, all right. Okay, and the first thing we're going to talk about is choosing the correct fabric for your pattern. Okay, the pattern that I'm trying to match up, I can't show you because there is no completed picture because I am designing the verse. I mean, I've got the verse, but I'm designing the pattern and the border to go with it for a friend. So it's a longer verse. It's got about 8 or 9, no, I think it's got 10 lines. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I had to decide, do I want it to be on stark white or do I want it to be prim? So I'll look at those two fabrics and I go, well, I'm not really sure. So then I go and I decided what colors I wanted for my border. So I lay the colors, which I chose cast iron skillet from Gentle Arts for the lettering. I chose baked apple and Battleship Weeks Dye Works for the border, okay? Oh goodness, do I need like 50 hands? Okay, so you see it on the white, that's very stark. But if you do it on the other, I kind of like that effect. I really do. And then I've got a piece of Cedar River linens. Yeah, that's it. Cedar River linens. I've got a piece of that, and I like that effect also. Then I have a piece of R&R Reproductions 36 count vanilla bean, and I like, oops, you can't see the blue. I like this also. Some of these came from my stash. Well, all of these came from my stash, to be honest. It was just things that I had. Okay, so then I have to figure out what count I want. I've decided I do not want to go with the stark white. So that is an easy, get rid of it. So it's going to be one of the other three. Now, I could go to an Ada or something, but I've decided I want to do this one on linen because of all the lettering. Okay, the first thing that you also need to consider is, do you want stiff fabric or do you want soft fabric? And what I'm talking about is, this is kind of medium. This is a Lugana, a 25 count Lugana. Weeks Dye Works old fabric was very limp feeling or soft, but it was almost too soft for me, but I like the newer Weeks Dye Works. But now this one is rather soft, so if that's an issue for you, you don't want to pick this one. Then we have the Cedar Linen, why can I not say this when I get on? Cedar River Linen, and it's a medium kind of feel. So that's a good one. And then we also have the R&R Reproductions, which is a little softer and limper kind of linen too. And then if you do Ada, of course, it's going to be very stiff most of the time. Okay, so you need to decide those things, what you're comfortable stitching. Okay, you also need to decide, can I see what I'm going to stitch on? Can I see the holes? Because like the holes in this, well, you can't see them on here. But anyway, we have magnification now for those of you that want to stitch on higher counts. There are readers, and you can wear readers over your glasses. They have little clip-on things. They have little things that strap around your head. They have lamps, the Halo Glow lamp. It has a magnifier with it, with a light. There's floor lamps with lights and magnifiers. You can get those at your stitch shop, from Amazon, just different places. And of course, some designers, they carry those too, or some shops carry those also at the cross stitch shop. And I recommend to get it there if you can, to support your local stitch shop. But anyway, then you need to figure out, how big of a piece do I need to cut? So I've decided that I like the way the linen looks on the R&R Reproduction fabric the best, the vanilla bean. I like that. It's a soft look. It's not too brown and it's not too yellow. All right, it's kind of a ecru, kind of, almost. So that's a 36 count. But do I want to use a 36 count? So what I'm going to do is get my cross stitch calculator app out, and I'm going to insert a picture of what the app looks like on the phone here. All right, now if I were doing this on 14 count Ada or 28 count linen, the stitch count is 207 by 180. That means I'm stitching, and I'm also stitching over 2 threads. I'm going to leave a 3-inch border because it's going to go to the framer, and I usually use I usually leave a 3-inch border, and some people say, oh, that's just too much. Well, he's got to have something to work with, especially if you want it laced. So 2.5, 3 inches is what I usually leave. If you're going to make a pillow or something, you only want to do maybe like 1.5 to 2 inches, because you want to have a little space between your design, you know, to go around the edges of the pillow or the ornament that you're, you know, flat fold or whatever, and you've got to have a little fabric, you know, to pull to the back. I'd rather have too much than not enough, because it's hard to add on fabric when you don't have enough, as we all know. Okay, then you've got your colors that you want to use. So if, oh, and I forgot to add, if you're using one thread to stitch, like any back stitch, or if you're doing 36, 40 count or more, you might want to lay the one thread across the fabric to see if it blends into the color and doesn't show up. That way you can substitute some colors, you know, or maybe there's just one color that's like, ugh, I just don't care for this. Then you want to substitute something else. Okay, so I'm going to insert a picture here of what the app shows for when you're using 14 count or 28 count with 2 threads and with a 3-inch border. So your fabric size is going to be 35.6 by 31.7. Your stitched area is going to be almost 30 inches. It's going to be 29.6 by 25.7. So that's going to be quite large. So I'll insert a picture here. Okay, and then on the cross stitch calculator, if you're going to use 36 count, you might want to, you'll have a stitched area of 11.5 by 10. The fabric size you'll need to cut will be 17.5 by 16. You'll use a 28 count needle. Okay, so I will insert a picture of that here, what you will see. Okay, on the cross stitch app, if you were to use the 40 count Cedar River linen, or any other 40 count, or even a 20 count Ada, and I forgot to say, on the 36 count, you could also use 18 count Ada. But on the 40 count and 20 count Ada, it's going to be, the stitched area will be 10.4 by 9. So that's a little smaller than what I was wanting. So I would cut the fabric 16.3 by 15 and use a 28 count needle. And I'll put the picture of that here so you can see what you would actually see on the app. Okay, now we're going to go to the cross stitch calculator app, which is, I think, a little bit newer. It says stitch the night away or something when you pull it up. And I'm going to insert what a picture of it looks like here. Okay, we're going to start with the 14 count Ada or the 28 count linen. And all it does is it just tells you what size fabric to cut. And I put the same things in. I want a 3-inch border. I'm stitching over 2 threads. It's got a little button that you click. And it says to cut my fabric 36 by 32. This rounds up to the next inch. So you'll have that, and I will insert a picture here so you will know exactly what you're seeing and decide which app you like the best. Last, we have the 25 count Lugana. I also put that we were going to stitch over 2 threads, and on the 14 count I said 1 thread, not 2. But anyway, on the 25 count, we're going to stitch over 2 threads, and it's going to be 23 by 21 that we need to cut our fabric. So that will give you some idea of how to cut your fabric, and I will insert a picture of that here so you can see actually what you would see on the app. Now, also, if you have trouble seeing things, you may want to use a hoop, a scroll frame, or Q-snaps, because when you stretch that out, it's going to enlarge the holes. So you can, when the fabric's tight, it pulls the holes out so you can see the holes better. If you have dark colors like browns, navy blues, black, or a medium green, like a darker green or something, you may want to use a light board. And you can buy those at quilt stores, your local shop. They usually call them light boxes at the shop, and they're bigger. But Amazon has a light board that's rechargeable, and I think it's around $30. You can get them from $30 on up. But you would put the light board down and then put your fabric, like you're going to stitch, and the light will shine up so you can see the holes. So that might be a good investment if you have darker colors. And of course you'll want to use your regular light, over your shoulder so you can see better. And I usually stitch on dark in the daytime. So anyway, that's my tutorial. I think I said everything I was going to, or showed you everything I was going to show. And if you have any questions, please email me, or you can put it in the comments below, because I do read all the comments. Sometimes they're not in a timely manner, but I do try to get to them as quick as I can. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to get to where I can do my comments every day and answer them, daily instead of once a week. So, okay, well, now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about my works in progress. Now, I do have, the reason I did the tutorial was because I only forgot 3 of the projects I stitched on at home. I didn't even bother to pack them. Oh dear. So I figured I needed something to do. And so that's why I said this is a weird video. Plus, I don't have a tripod, don't have the light, so I apologize. It's usually a little bit more professional. But what we're going to do is I will tell you about what I'm stitching on. I already said that. And it's going to be a sampler. It's a stitch along. It's called, it's Happy Halloween Stitch Along is what it's called. It's by the Historic Sampler Company. This is from the United Kingdom, and we've got parts 1 and 2, and part 3 may be out, I think, Monday or Tuesday. And it's PDF is what I got. And the graphs, you get a black and white or you get color, and they're very easy to read. And this is a good stitch to do late at night when your eyes are tired, like after you stitched on black or you stitched on something that was real finicky. So I stitched mine on the call for linen that they had, and it's 32 counts. Yep. Here we go. Vintage linen from Zweigart. Excuse me. And they have DMC threads, which I used all the DMCs, and I'm still on part 1. Yeah, because I have other things I have to stitch. But I got a little bit more done. I got the spider done, and I got the rest of this little black border done. And I started on a leaf also, and I'm doing 2 strands over 2 of DMC. But I'm enjoying this. It probably won't be done by Halloween, but who knows, it could, because I really am having fun with this. And it's kind of, it's a fun Halloween. It's not scary. I don't do the scary because it scares my piano students. But I look forward to the new patterns when they come out every time. And the shipment, well, I say the shipment, they do ship very quickly. The PDF, of course, is instant. You can get that like almost immediately. So if you haven't done the Happy Halloween Stitch Along, it's hashtag Happy Halloween Sal. So you have to be sure and check that out. And I forgot to put that down. Hashtag Happy. Okay. Okay, the next thing I stitched on was the Lord's Prayer, because I really need to get this finished because I've been stitching on it for a while, and my daughter has been graduated since March. So anyway, but this is a pattern from Stony Creek. And last week I was here and I had stitched a little bit more. And this week, excuse me, I did a lot of ripping because that's when I found out I had, you know, problems with my eyes this week. And I had to get some new drops and stuff. But anyway, I would stitch the back stitch words and I couldn't see. And I would be missing the holes, and I would be one hole off, or I couldn't see to rip it out, and it was just really bad. But this is what I've stitched this week on this. And when I got to Temptation, I was like, oh, yay! But this is my progress on this one. And I hope it gets a better picture this week. Last week, it had me doing a pack of sticky notes, which I was very grateful to have, but I would like to have a picture of stitching instead of sticky notes. Yeah, I think I need to learn how to upload a thumbnail. But anyway, I'm over halfway, just barely. And I'm stitching 2 over 2. And this is 30 count. No, it's 32 count. And it's a vintage linen. And I really, really like this. I think she's going to be well pleased. I think this is the prettiest Lord's Prayer sampler I've ever seen. And even though it was a lot, I thought, I've got to do it. So, 2 strands over 2. So, didn't get much done on that. And I didn't get much done on the Halloween, so I do apologize. I also stitched on Annie, the Proper Stitchers pattern, Life's Lemons. It's at home. Sorry. And I stitched on Welcome to the North Pole, which was my WIPGO project for this month. And I was supposed to have let's see what we have on here. 2 lines done. I'm still on line 2, but it was the first line that I was doing this month. So I did not get my 2 lines done. Shame, shame. I've not been doing too good on WIPGO lately, but things are going to change. And that's at home. Then I had stitched on Victorian House number 9 by Judith Kirby last week and this week, and both times I have forgotten. Like last time I forgot to show it and didn't even know it until the video was over. And this week it's at home. I looked at the box or the bag and I went, no, I won't stitch on that this week. I stitched on it last week. Oh well. So we didn't do too good on WIPGO this month, but that's okay. All right, the next thing I want to show are my WIPGO for July. Rose Air Blooming, and it was supposed to be Welcome to the North Pole. Well, to tell you I didn't do very well on Rose Air Blooming, I didn't even pick this up. And I love this pattern. I was just like, well, I did pick it up. I got the rose partially done, and that's all I got. The whole entire month. And this, oh goodness, and this is what I've got right here. So, another day, maybe after I get the North Pole, not the North Pole, but the Lord's Prayer done, maybe I will actually get some stitching done. That would be very, very nice. So, hopefully I'll get some of these things done that's been calling that I have to do, and I can get down to business. Okay, this month Jessie Marie does stuff. She has a Flosstube, and you need to watch her. She calls out the numbers, and this month she called them out early. And I think she called them out early because of the 24 hours of cross stitch, which I stitched a lot, but I have no idea how much I stitched because I was at Stitch Florida. And keeps up with things like that when you're at Stitch Florida or any other retreat. Okay, so in August, they called out number 15 and, yep, number 12. Okay, I couldn't find it on there. So, number 15, no, I lied. Number 12 is Autumn Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and I just love this. I wanted to stitch this for the longest time, and something always comes up to where I can't get it stitched. I've got it on 28 count vintage country mocha, and I'm stitching 2 strands over 2, and this is my starting point for WIPGO. So isn't that cute? And what I've decided I need to do is I need to stitch on this 5 days. Surely I can stitch on this 5 days in August. Surely. We'll see. But this is my start. So we'll see how that goes. I just love their patterns. I could stitch on their patterns all day. I mean, they are just beautiful, beautiful patterns. Oh, and that doesn't go in there. All right. And the next thing is I'm going to substitute, because the Jingle Block, which is a new release that at the end of this month, it was at the Jingle Ball last year from Hands On Design, was supposed to be a finish. But I am going to move that, since I stitched a lot of Christmas last month, and I don't know where I put it. It's in a safe place. So I have decided that I'm going to put my designed sampler, the cross stitch sampler I'm working on, and get a finish on this one. I don't have a pattern I can show you, but I've been testing borders, and so I can show you just a piece of the border. I don't want to show you the verse or anything, because I don't want to spoil the surprise. But anyway, this is on, I finally chose that I'm going to stitch this on R&R Reproductions 36 count vanilla bean, and this is the border I have chosen, part of it, and I'm going to have some red on the inside. So it's going to be red and blue, and the red I chose was Baked Apple from Weeks Dye Works, and let me hold it up here. Okay, I also chose Battleship from Weeks Dye Works, and the letters are going to be, or are, Cast Iron Skillet from Weeks Dye Works, and I just thought those are 3 good blends for this pattern. So I think, and I hope, that my friend will like it. So we'll see. But this is going to be a finish for August, if all goes well, and it better go well, because I need to get this done, because I've got another one I need to finish also for her, because I'm doing 2. All right, then I also would like to stitch on my other stitch along, which is the 12 Days of Christmas Stockings Sal from Annie B's Folk Arts. Okay, it's 12 days of Stockings Sal. Oh, excuse me. You'd think I could get this right. And I have started number 3, which I'm sure I'm behind other people, but I'm on 28 count. There's going to be, hang on, 2 dogs walked by. So we have the Barkers. Yes, that would be Stryker and Winston. Yes. Okay, where we were. We're on number 3, and this is 28 count Lugana. I thought it was an even weave. Well, it is an even weave, but it's Lugana. And I got this at Fat Quarter Shop. And all I've got done is the 3. I haven't worked on this at all, because with my eyes being like they were, it was not good. So anyway, those are my plans. And then, let's see. Oh, we're going to talk about what I got at Sassy Jacks. Now, okay. I picked up this for a friend that went up there, that cannot get there. And she's a very dear friend. And this is Chubby Squirrel. Yeah, there it is. And it's the acorn and everything. See, there's the acorn. She saw me showing this, and she's like, oh, I can't get there. I really want it. She's like one of my besties when I go to stitch retreats. And so I had to get it for her. Then I also got, in fact, I got an embroidery hoop. It's a wooden embroidery hoop. And I'm going to put twill tape around it. And the reason I'm going to put twill tape around it, and twill tape looks like this. You take and you wrap it around your embroidery hoop, and you want to make sure that you mark it for the top, because it fits in the hoop a certain way, like this. And I got one of these little protectors on here for the screws, and it makes it so much easier to turn. She sells these, and I bought one for my new hoop. But I thought I'd try this little square looking thing. So we'll see how that goes, because I need one about this size. And my hoops, it just keeps slipping, and this will hold it really drum tight. It's really good. And I like it when I'm stitching down on a border, I can do this. And now when I'm stitching square almost, I can do this. So that'll be really good. And then I got one more thing, and that was Heartstring Sampleries for the Love of Stitching. It's got a box that says need more floss, buy all the thimbles, always losing my needles, and no such thing as too many scissors. And this is that. Is that not too cute? I thought, oh, that's me, because I'm always losing my scissors. And I have needles I lose too. Yes. So I can't wait to start that one, but that'll be like maybe a New Year's start or something, because it won't be right now. I've got too much to do. But anyway, that's it for today. I apologize for this unusual video. I hope you enjoyed it, though. Just be sure and like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll get 2,000 subscribers so we can have a giveaway pretty soon. I've already been collecting some things. And yeah, so stay cool, happy stitching, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.